The CIA is lying to you, and it's not about what you think. None of our countries are ranked by area, and this is the CIA World Factbook. The ranking is usually given as Russia, Canada, the United States, 中国, and then Brazil. But the United States does not like to admit that we are not the third largest country in the world. On a friend's phone, when he Googles largest countries by area, the United States comes up third as the automated result. But when I do it, I get the correct result from Google. That is, that China has the third largest territory. I suspect the difference is that I have the Chinese keyboard installed on my browser. 因为我说汉语，所以 I get the truth. You will never hear a politician compare the size of the United States to the size of China. This seems like a pretty straightforward ranking. Why is there such a problem? Why can people even try to lie about this? Well, it's actually a highly politically sensitive topic. There are two different ways to judge a country's size by area. The first is straightforward, just landmass against landmass. Even disregarding China's disputed territories, it is a larger country than the US by landmass by 2.2%. However, there is a second way to judge a country's territory, and that is landmass and coastal waters. You may remember the phrase international waters. That's when you get beyond a certain amount of coastline, there's nothing in the distance. That becomes international water. But if you're close enough to a country, that country can claim those waters as its own territory. When the United States counts its coastal territories, but China does not, we then become a larger country than China. And that is why we are often listed as the third largest country in the world. That seems unfair, doesn't it? Well, the reason that we constantly get away with this is that China does not publish its numbers. As far as I know, every other country in the world publishes its territorial waters, but China does not. This article was published in the South China Morning Post in March of this year. China has disputed islands in the South China Sea that are of particular importance to deciding how large its country is. And recently, it's slowly begun to start publishing maps and diagrams of land that it says it owns, which is a deviation from its past policy and is going to be a hot button topic in coming years. So if you see otherwise reputable sources saying that the United States is the third largest country in the world, they probably know they're lying, but their heart's probably in the right place. Maybe not the CIA though.